spoke publicly about President Trump, how his policies or his views about organized labor might have.
Mayor Graham. Gail Brown. Here. Fort Smith. Here. Sarah Eschelbrenner. Here. Chuck Brummers.
Here.
Mark Whitman. Oh, you.
Oh,
Yes.
here.
Oh, I saw her. Maggie Lacy. Here. Bob Toma. Allison Larson here. And Elizabeth has a math test this morning and she did let me know she could not be here. Okay, that comes first.
Okay, first agenda item. Agenda item is the approval of the consent agenda. Has everyone read, understood the note? Any questions or comments from the board?
I just have two spelling ones. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it's page 6 of the entire packet.
Okay.
It said nothing. I believe it was meant to say noting. And page 7, it just spelled harbor, HARBIR. So they were just little things, probably autocorrect most likely.
You know, sometimes, you know, they underline things when they're misspelled, but sometimes you don't see it even so. Typo. Thank you very much.
Okay, just need a motion.
I motion to pass.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next agenda item is public comment regarding any item that is not on the agenda. Okay, jump up there.
Just wanted to remind everybody, ladies' night is this Saturday. Shopping is from 4:30 to 7:30. There's a pre-party at the New York from 4 to 5, and then the after prizes are at the pier from 8 to 9. So, and thanks you all of the businesses that have donated and are participating. Should be a fun night. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good morning. So Chief Knight asked me just to come over, give some updates. He's out of town, fortunately, on a family matter. Just want to let everyone know for the Christmas tree lighting as well as the emergency open house, we've made put all the plans in place and expecting the same amount of officer presence and everything. Just wanted to give you an update. We're all set to go in regards to both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
You're not doing what's better. I just thought that maybe, today you guys could, approach the, trees in front of the Shea House. I think it's gonna get a lot of pushback. They were cut down too big white pines. And so everybody's talking about it a lot.
Why are they cutting them down?
I have no idea.
Is that on private property?
They cut them down. They cut them down. Oh,
The museum did, or did?
Is that private property?
if it's on between the sidewalk and the street, it's city property.
I don't know where, I don't even.
I have no,
There's nothing there.
I thought that it was the DPW was actually doing the job, so I thought they were just trimming the branches. I didn't really understand as the whole tree. So I guess my question is, who made the call to cut the trees down? Because that is in the DDA, and I actually went and counted trees just the other day, and so I was just like surprised how big they were. And so this was really disturbing to know that it is in our jurisdiction, but we had no idea it was happening.
Becky, would you
I
find?
will definitely look into that.
It may be more of a tree board matter as well, to don't know, like some of those things I think that don't overlap, like the tree board doesn't ask permission from the DDA to do things tree related. So it could, because they have their own kind of jurisdiction over the trees, so.
Well, I understand, but given the fact we're getting ready to go down a project that encompasses trees, and that is in our area, I just want to make sure that we are communicating, or maybe request that they do talk with us.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that once Becky gets the information, because
Okay.
I don't think any of us, I don't know anything about it. I just
I
know they
didn't
went
even know
down,
they were down.
right, yeah, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, or the day before? Yeah,
You didn't change yourself to them or?
It looks like they were in the electric, I mean, like when I was watching, there was definitely, I mean, there's wires there, and it was DPW doing it, so my assumption was it had something to do with power lines, but I don't know, I'm not a tree.
Ask questions today.
I also do know that when we went through doing some stuff about tree trimming in the past there and tree removal and tree replacement with some of our trees downtown, there is a like maximum height, and when the trees reach a maximum height, they need to be removed. So I don't know if those pine trees have just been left over, but there is a thing where if they reach a maximum height, in the downtown area, and I don't, those white pines have probably been there for a very, very long time, so.
Thanks, Becky. Okay, next agenda item, old business. 2026 draft of our budget. This will be our second one.
Okay, this is your second review of the budget, and you need to know it was created by input from the committees, some of it from me, and then I incorporated board member comments that I received from you last month. Put it in a more formal format. It's going to show you the 25 budget numbers, the end of year numbers, and also the last comments, post budget numbers. I did make a very strong effort not to include any funds from fund balance. We have a big project plan coming up for the next couple of years, and I didn't want to see us using little pots of money to dwindle away from the big fund balance. So when we get to it, you're going to see a change in the ISPS budget. We can talk about that at the time, but it will require some DDA investment instead of a break-even platform that we've been on. The recommendation that City Council helped to pay for the increased amount of the land post paying project. This was recommended by the Enhancement Committee. Revised costs for the development of the New York parking lot. This month I had, I think, 50,000 in there, and I cut that down to 20 this month. I also changed the format, and you can get into that as we go along, but it better fits the way things are presented to us in the downtown plan. And at some point, we're going to want to look very carefully at how we match to that plan and know exactly what's coming out of the special assessment, what's coming out of the county tip, what's coming out of the general tip. So I'm working toward that organization by doing that. I did get a cost for the social media percentage of the entire budget. And then there is an increase from last month in the dues, education and training line item. We have not put on a presentation or a seminar, workshop of any kind for merchants, and we really should be doing that. So getting a speaker in and having someone present to that is included in that. Now, hopefully you can approve this at this meeting. As not, we have to have a special meeting because so council as part of their budget in December. So this is our chance to get it done. So we can kind of go through this line by line, but I don't want to be redundant or boring here, but you can see that our current property taxes that we collected from will be 149,000. That's projected number. We are transferring anything from the fund balance. Last year, we were due to transfer something from the fund balance, but we didn't use it all, so we didn't have to do that. We have the county TIF going in there, special assessment. You get a little, if somebody pays late, you get a little bit of money from their fine. I don't put anything in for grants because you just never know, but I know the grants are harder and harder to get through the state in general. And then of course, we did not go through RRC, so that would make it even more difficult. We're looking at the same about an interest estimate, income, that's always an estimate. So we have a figure of revenue coming in from sponsorship. This is a estimate from sponsorships for Ice Fest. That would be about $20,000 per plan. We still will get the directory edition fees of $50 from the people that are not in the district. We're not working on the historic tour collaboration anymore. We feel that we've made some strides there. We're not where we want to be in the end, but we don't plan to do anything for that next year. We might get some more donations on the downtown benches. People come along and want to put a plaque on them even though they're already here. So I put 2 of those in there. And then I also put in transfer from the general fund because it's the recommendation of the Enhancement Committee that council pay for $15,000 of toward the lampposts. And that will come to a proposed revenue of $268,825. Questions on that?
Just so I'm clear, so the transfer of funds from the fund balance, that is basically on hold. It's a pocket of money that we have down the road for a future project. So really we have over 400,000. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yep, I think so. So this is what we plan to spend. This is where I started to bunch it up differently. So I grouped them into administrative, enhancement and marketing and promotions. So the administrative end of things would be, $65,000 for wages. That includes me and Nate. It does include a cost of living increase. I think it's gonna be 2% that city employees get this year. And it includes all the wages and fringes, everything that it costs to employ us, the two of us. Supplies, not much difference in what we spend. This is something that the city charges us for paper and ink and the things that we use to make posters, that kind of thing. Contractual services are also things that we use through the city, and that is the same as spending government. So then, last year, we had downtown projects, and they weren't broken out well in the budget. They were broken out under downtown projects, so just walkway wasn't delineated specifically, although I did that. I kept those records, but this year, I would like to see us go toward the way we have it set up here. You can see under beautification, we have the flowers, we have the concrete pads for the flower pots and the bike corrals and the benches. We have the lamppost painting, all of that comes under beautification. Then we have maintenance. Last year, this was all under downtown projects. Now this year it's broken up. So that's why you see that number where it says downtown projects and enhancement. That's what was spent last year, and that's what we expect to be spent at the end of this year. So the lamppost paint or the maintenance would include anything we have to do to the wayfinder, anything we have to do to fix lighting, anything we have to do to paint, not including the lamppost. If we have to replace any of the street pictures, if a truck runs over anything, we're gonna have to buy a new one. There's also $5,000 in there for restroom maintenance, and this was per city council request. They asked us to do that, and we talked about that last month, and I didn't get any objection to that. There's also 10,000 in there just for regular sidewalk maintenance like we did this fall. Things that spot maintenance, things that have to get done. And then we have the big one, the Main Streetscape project that I put $20,000 in with consultant. I did revise that figure, and it's a pretty firm figure. I talked with John Michelangelo, had a meeting with him. He says for the type of project we're looking at, he feels that they should be able to do it. He actually even said $15,000 to $20,000. 15 to 20. So I put the 20 in. I said, oh, that's amazing. That's what I used to always put in as a placeholder, but I felt like it had gone up more than that. So no, it's not that big a project. So, and then the New York parking lot, I did speak to a consultant at the MTA concert conference last week. I think I am going to need someone professional to help amend the plan, and he said he could do it for billable hours. I mean, I've known for years, and it may not even be 3,000. It may even be $1,000, but we need professional eyes on it when we do it. And then if we decide to do a trash enclosure, you can see the question mark there. We haven't done this at community level. This is my recommendation. I put that in there. That's what is at the New York lot right now. It's possible that we could, now that we own that lot, we could get some really big plans for that and do something. Maybe that's where we build restrooms. But that would be 20 years from now, so we don't have that money. But right now, that trash enclosure needs a lot of work, needs to be fixed up. And it will be my recommendation to the committee to recommend to the board that that's what we do next year. Clean that up and make it, I think the fence is falling down right now. So that's why I put that $20,000 figure there. Now I want to back up just a little bit here. Under maintenance, we may or may not do any, that may not get spent. If we don't have to replace any light bulbs, the lighting bulbs that break, if anything like that doesn't have to be done, because that's money in the bank. We don't have to do any touch-up painting, that's money in the bank, but it's in the budget, so we can do it. Same thing with wayfinding signs. We did a lot of work on the wayfinding signs this current year. Maybe they won't need anything next year. Although I think one of them needs to be done, I'm not sure, but so this is definitely a place where we may be able to save some money. All of these may come in at once. We go
I love how it's broken out. I think it's great. It's really, really helpful. After 4 years, 5 years of reviewing this is really helpful. It makes it really easy to see. Because I'm much more of a visual person, especially cost numbers. The only thing that I would be really awesome to see is maybe, and I don't know if this is possible, but the downtown projects, especially because as we're going forward for the past couple years, when we break it out, we didn't have it broken out, but having like a total line underneath.
Oh, you know.
So then we could
I
just
can
see-
actually do that. In fact,
Yeah.
I've done these before where I would put a total line under administrative expenses, projects.
Yeah, just because since that breaks out so much, it would just be nice to be able to compare it to the past years, like what the total was.
I like that too.
Yeah. But I also do love seeing all the breakouts opposed to having to like research all of it when we're trying to have a discussion about it, so. And then I just figured, because it'll probably be the same for,
Right, it will be as you go.
yeah, thank you.
Any
Okay.
comments? Any other comments? Anyone in the public?
But we're not done. We got.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're
So then our next category would be promotions. And I did leave the social media amount at $18,000. You do have a report in your packet from Keep It Real Social. That shows data that was created this year and what the plan would be for that amount of money. And I'm gonna go by memory. No, it was 6.4% of the total budget. Chuck, you asked that question, what that would be. It is, however, 39% of the special assessment, which is where it would actually come out of. So, but it is only 6.4% our total budget. So we do need a website renovation. That money is in there as well, and the shop map that we did again this year, which we will spend more time on and have a much prettier piece, is in there also. The blessing of the affiliate, we did that before, $500. The Santa's workshop, I took down just a little bit because we are not going to spend all of that money this year. And we also will have some things we have already purchased that we can use again, so I did take that down a little bit. Sidewalk sales, I boosted up because we had talked to the promotions committee level and here about possibility of adding something to it. And I don't know, music, something that would liven it up, which we may or may not do. Now, the Ice Fest also does include a new sponsorship level, and that will be taking into consideration that we're going to try to move the charge people less, so that, because that's what they have asked for in the past. We want to get more money, more activity on the street and not as much, keep it in the park, but get more of it on the street, so we have to add some things to it. And we also will be working on developing a plan to grow this into a certified Ice Fest event. That is what was the original chart in the plan to take it there. And it's gonna be a 3 to 5 year deal to do that. But the main difference you're seeing here is we're trying to bring the price down so it's more affordable for the merchants to participate and also add some more activities so it becomes a premier event. And the last section would be the operations, and these are all just kind of boring, but the one is the dues education and training. The seminar for the merchants was added into there. So we have a total of 255,500. So we will be, oh shoot, you're gonna have to go back up, Sarah, to the first, to the next one. 268 to 255, so we have some money left over and we would not have to go into any fund balance. Sorry, that got cut off at the bottom, I didn't have it yet.
Any questions?
I read over in the packet where it said about, recommending for $50 a month boosted post. I mean, that's standard. That's what I do for my business. I think that's very standard. I think that we talked about that before. I think that that's all great use of fund money. The one comment that happened this past week is that Barbara Boz was promoted and they're closed. So just maybe like keeping an eye on that.
I saw that, I told her that. already.
Yeah, I know, I think all have to, but just maybe I mean, that's something we can do is just, have a list of who's open. I feel like we can probably add that to like our master list of who's open, what months of the year. We can probably add that in so that they can have that for our master list of downtown businesses.
Yeah, she was sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. It happens.
Any questions, from the board?
Just one quick question. What is a certified Ice Fest event?
It's where you are judged, and Nikki knows more about this, it's her concept, and so you might want to tell me, but you are judged and you have your Ice Fest committee in the sky says you can have this event here and you have to go through a process. You have to have a number of hotel rooms. You have to, it takes up a notch because you get people in from literally all over the world. So do you have, am I on it?
Yeah, it's similar. So right now, like we hire a company that comes in and brings all those sculptures and drops them off and does all the things. And if it's a certified one, you get a lot of other people. You don't necessarily, they're not all one company that's making them all. So think of like a barbecue cook-off or a chili cook-off, like it's
More competitive.
It's more competitive and it's what you'd say normal people making them rather than the company who does.
Yeah.
That's the easiest. And they are around, and Bay Harbor used
To have one, that's what I was
Bay
gonna
Harbor
ask.
used to have. They had grown theirs to that, and that was sort of the ultimate plan. So it costs more money, obviously, but it also has really different impact because it brings.
And the talent is just like, it's really cool. Like, it's really cool. Like, well, one that used to be in Bay Harbor, we were going to it, and it was like, the sculptures were really over the top. It was a little different than what we experience here.
It's different.
I think it's exciting.
Any other questions or comments?
So, it sounds like we're rounding up these numbers or just rounding, it's not actual. But if I look at the underneath the enhancement and the concrete pads, flower pots, benches, and then we look at maintenance, benches, trash cans and so forth. Just because we have purchased all the stuff last year and we're still trying to find where the right places are for the bike racks and the benches, and I just see that cost coming down a little bit because we have things to move around town right now versus adding more inventory. And
I don't plan any additional inventory unless something gets ruined.
right, and so I just would like to maybe just balance out the maintenance, because maintenance seems a little bit high. I mean, there's it's an area to shave off there. And then my other comment is, and you had mentioned it, which I'm glad that you said, so we started out at 6,000 for the Santa's workshop. We're gonna have all the material left for the next year, but we just dropped it down $1,000. I mean, are we going to, again, make that big of an investment for the next year? Do you foresee? I mean, we shaved off 1,000, and I don't know if it's purposeful to bring down our budget or we're just doing a place mark. It's, to me, it seems like we're place marking and we're kind of making sure that we have it, but it sounds like if I look at certain areas, there's definitely some areas that we can shave off, and maybe we put this forward, we get it approved, but these are just two areas that I just foresee for this next year that I would be conservative on spending.
I think Santa, the only thing we kind of talked about is this is our first year. We don't really know. Okay, and I don't know if I'm speaking. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think part of it was we may want to do more. Like this is our first year, so we're giving these 3 times. We don't have a lot of information. We probably wouldn't have to buy a lot of new materials, so to speak.
Yeah.
But do we want to have Santa longer, more hours, which we have to pay for? Do we want to add something else to it that would cost us money? Like, are we going to have a hot chocolate? I mean, like, what else might we add, which gives us the ability to play with that?
Right, and that's
Because
fair.
we don't know.
And that's fair. And I see the skeleton, that display was mostly with the flowers and so forth. So I foresee that we do spend that, where we already have the skeletons, but it was just something that I'm just trying to say, where else could we, other places I don't see where we can shave off anything.
So I would address the, where you talked about the benches and the maintenance and that kind of thing. Yeah, those are, like I said, they're high numbers. I don't expect all of that money would be spent. And there's also the thought that if a bench got hit by a truck in July, we could wait actually until the following year's budget to replace it, because if we ordered it in July, we're not gonna get it until October, you know, that kind of. So that could bring that number down as well. What I had in my head was, let's put, if we had to replace a bench, a trash can, a bike rack, it would cost about that much money. So that is a generous figure in there. If you wanna shave it, then you can, if, totally a board decision. I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to it, but it is nice to have it in there in case you need it. It's there.
After having to amend budgets in the past, I feel like it's much easier to have that in there for something, because having to make the budget amendment is a lot harder than not have, it's much easier to just not spend the money and have it in the budget.
Yeah.
Because then if it's there, we need it. Also, if we can also move stuff around, I feel like in maintenance, correct me if I'm wrong, Becky, but I feel
Yes,
like
you
if,
could.
like, let's say we end up like, needing to do a bunch of replacements on, someone hits a entire, one of the whole lampposts and all the light bulbs get broken or something, we have to replace something like that. We'd have the funds under maintenance that we'd be able to move around and use. So I mean, I have no problem having it stay higher. I mean, I have no problem with really anything in the budget whatsoever. And just as I said before, it's just because the money's there, it doesn't necessarily mean all of it, especially under something like maintenance has to be spent.
And what did we spend already on sidewalks?
This year,
Mhm.
there's the last, I don't have the last bill for what was done by, the alley coming out of our harbor. So I can't really give you that number, but it's not supposed to be more than a couple $1,000, so.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, because I think we've done a nice job replacing some sidewalks and it's recognized. So I would like to continue that. So if $10,000,
We did not spend 10,000.
right.
So I did get a call the other day was it in front of the Presbyterian Church? Someone complained about that.
Methodist church,
Maybe. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's in my voice. So I did get a call about that. We won't be able to do anything. I'm sure it's fall yet, but if you put that on the list for next year, I would go over to look at it yet.
Anyone on Zoom? Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
So I was thinking the projects like the Merchant Walk.
I'm sorry, but I
Oh.
can't ever get you
Okay.
the bus you call there.
Yes. The turnout. The little projects like the Merchant Walkway, do they go into the budget as a area cost? Or is it just lumped in with everything else? I was sort of wondering about the sidewalks too, and then the 18,000 for social media. Keeping costs down is certainly something that we want to try for. But 18,000 for social media is a good, healthy amount. And so I just want to make sure that any kind of redundancy. We have the Tunnel of Trees group, we have Pure Michigan group, we have Mackinac Island group. And so for 18,000 for social media, if we're trying to promote things that are on the shoulder season, we like that, but we don't want to make our town so busy all the time. And then the 15,000 for the lamppost painting, is that in addition to the 15 that you're going to ask the city from? So is it for the lamppost painting, is it now $35,000 for the lamppost painting? And then the last thing I'm sort of curious about is the Ice Fest. That's such a huge amount, and are we getting, we don't really know, I guess, I don't know. Are we getting the kind of traffic from the public for the Ice Fest? Are the restaurants fuller? Are the shops selling more? Is it of value during that time? So those were a few of my questions.
Thank you.
Maybe
I do
your
have some-
microphone.
I do have something with regards to the social media, because I know we're looking at a baseline, and the baseline, of course, for this last year, the eyes and the touches and so forth would go up, and we're kind of doubling this. Do we have for $18,000, did they give you an example of another website and to show what the performance was for that amount of money? I mean, did they give you
Another website.
any other accounts that said, for this bucket, we really saw this, and here's the example of what it was? I mean, for instance, Chamber of Commerce, do you guys have a social company that you work with?
We do not outsource that.
So you do it yourself?
Yes.
You do everything yourself, okay? And, I think we go, because we have the city website, we have the DDA, site and social media now, we're in the chamber that we work with, and, those should be cross pollinating on programs and so forth. I just want to understand what exactly we'll get out of this for $18,000 based on this baseline that we have. And I think that's a fair question to ask, I mean, I think we can budget this, but I just want to see what that outcome would look like for $18,000. So I know for my business, when we did, that's triple than what we had for our social media, so,
This represents the entire town,
right,
and it is the only place that we go outside for support and help to build business. And the whole world, as we've seen, is starting to really discover Harbor Springs. And we give your social media a lot of that credit. And we've just begun. This past year was very successful for us. And if you talk to a lot of the store owners, they've had a very good year and maybe a struggling time for other areas. We give that credit a lot to the social media. But we do know that they just started really telling the stories of what's going on in Harbor Springs, not just of the events, but actually we got such great stories coming out of the retailers themselves. And we strongly believe from the promotions committee that we need to enhance that and promote that. We don't think we've tapped it out. We want to have enough money there that we can actually see what we can really do. And it's not to hit July hardest, but it's all those other months that there's so much more opportunity. And our goal is to help some of those who are on the fence as far as businesses, maybe stay open a little bit longer, maybe open a little bit earlier. There's so much more we can do, and social media can be the driver.
Oh, and I totally agree. So, talking about the stories of the storefronts and so forth, they are planning to reach out to different storefronts to create those
They have
storylines.
done in the last 2 months, and I was an earlier critic of it strongly. They have really made a difference, and they're talking to all the stores, and they're looking. I mean, I can't tell you how many more interesting stories have been out there, and everyone, even the naysayers, businesses that don't do social media,
Right.
all of a sudden they're changing their tune to it because they're seeing a difference in their business.
Yeah, well,
And they're really starting to spread out that information and get everybody included.
and this company is out of Petoskey, right? They do Petoskey. So I
She
guess,
actually does several around the state. She's not just.
yeah, so that's where I was wanting to see what the
And she
baseline.
doesn't do Petoskey anymore. She did contract for Petoskey, but she doesn't now. They have a staff person that does that. And I was gonna add to what Chuck was saying. When I was hired here, I said, I don't do that. I have people that do that. So take me or leave me, and you took me. So when I'm not here, I would be my recommendation to you that you, and as the chamber is doing, that you have a full-time person and not a part-time person. And someone who is good at that be part of the job description. Because this is a full-time job, and if you get someone who can do social media, then you got it made. And
Right.
that's where that 18,000.
Find that person that for $18,000, we'll never find
It would be underneath her budget, which is the higher the direct, yeah.
That's a plus cost.
So that's how you would, and the other thing I would just tell you all to be so grateful for is, I think I've said this to you before, I know I've said it to the promotions committee, that I can remember paying Travis Magazine $500 for one ad.
Yeah.
For the print, it's just, this has come way down, and marketing community is so much more affordable now, and you can do so much more than you ever could.
And you can track it. You can actually track the clicks, you can track the views. Opposed to if you put an ad
I
out,
know who saw that ad in the CD.
you have no clue who saw those ads.
And those were $3,000. So
And then my other thing is that, yes, I totally agree that all of the social medias should be working together. We do reshare things, but at the same time, Harbor Springs and the chamber versus our social media are sharing completely different things. Our job is to promote the downtown businesses. The chamber is to promote all of their chamber businesses, which are not necessarily the downtown. And then Harbor Springs is to promote everything else that's going on, all of Harbor Springs, not necessarily events, but actually like important things like meetings and all of those things. So I think that we all serve different purposes, whereas ours is just to serve the specific CBD.
I totally get that. My point was to have, and obviously you guys listened to her and you saw examples and so forth. And I was just questioning that you have a baseline of what the expectation is that they've already achieved. And so I understand the importance of it. I just wanted to ask, you guys saw some other accounts that are spending that amount of money and what you get for it, for results. So I'm fine with it.
you're good.
Okay.
And I guess I would just clarify on the Ice Fest, just a reminder. The budget only includes $6,000 from us, so we take in 20, and I know that it's always weird because you look at it on one end, we're anticipating taking in 20, spending 26, but the difference is only $6,000. So we're not really spending $26,000.
Good point, Sarah. That's right.
Well, and wasn't it, the Ice Fest brought in a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
remember when Nikki
Oh, yeah.
was on the board, she was talking about, she went around and talked to everybody where they came from, and everyone loved that there wasn't any expenses, you know, for
A
a
free
family
event.
coming, it was a free event, and there was a lot of things to do, so, I don't know what merchants benefited from it.
Great.
but, you know, if it's only
It's
$6,000.
really great.
There we go. A
It's
merchant.
really busy. It's a very, very busy, otherwise what would be dead, completely dead February weekend.
And what's, I think the change, what we're looking at on the Ice Fest committee, and I sit on that particular committee, is to bring Main Street into it, which has been a request from Main Street retailers. Everything's at the park, and how can, and the team is very, you know, Nikki still chairs that committee. And that's what we're gonna look at, bringing something down on Main Street to drive business to those, retailers that are open, which is a win.
Answer your questions.
Yeah, that's great news. That's
Okay. Now do we,
What we need is if we're in more discussion or we need a motion to approve.
I'm happy to make a motion to accept the 2026 budget as proposed.
I second it.
2 seconds,
2 seconds.
okay?
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Thank you, Becky, great job. Okay, now we're going to new business.
So as you recall, the DDA has taken over business of sidewalk sales from the chamber, and thank you to the chamber for doing this for all those years. Well, appreciate it. But it really is involves the downtown merchants. We've already been over that. One of the things when we took it over was that, we wanted to have the same date every year. It's moved around several times, and so we did do some, informal survey, plus we hired. And got a lot of data for that. And the road to the committee discussed it, and they are recommending now that it be held annually. The annual date for the second Friday and Saturday of August. This year, that date would be the 9th. And it's a request of the committee that the board move to approve, officially approve the state, so that we can get it on calendars and, planning.
Any comments?
Chuck, aren't you in charge of that?
Not the card.
It was.
We'll work hard for that.
I'm on favor as well. I think the earlier the better. I mean, the school starts sooner and sooner, people leave, and we don't have good attendance in the past. The later it's been, if it's after the middle of the month, we do not have good attendance, we do not have good numbers. And it's a lot of effort. I know my business puts forward, I don't know about other businesses, and to take the time to make all that work for nothing is hard. So I definitely I'm happy to make a motion to approve
that they,
Well,
And the businesses, I did poll businesses. And face to face, and, the huge percentage loved or had no concerns. You know, they
About
loved the
that
date
date.
change, or they just didn't really care. And one said, it moved.
Oh,
So, which I thought, so, I mean, they don't have any problem. And several don't even participate, actually, they don't, I mean, they appreciate the traffic, but they don't have anything that they put on sale.
I'm good with approving it.
we have to make a
We
motion.
need-
I made a motion.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent, passes. Okay. Now, next is the promotion committee report. And while Jody is the chair and she is on Zoom, she has asked me to take it because it's very hard when you're on Zoom to go through this information. So this is a quick update of what's going on. We talked about Ice Festival. We did have a meeting this past Monday. We will meet again next Monday. There are some questions that answers we have to get specifically from the carvers, are their availability, etc. So we need that because what we're thinking of 6th, 7th, and 8th of February,
7th and 8th, did you say?
6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're looking at some exciting things. There just was a brainstorm, so much creative power going around that room, not only, but it wasn't, but just about making it bigger and, you know, maybe, I mean, I'm not even gonna share because it'll be exciting when we get to roll it out. So we are well on our way for that. Under Small Business Saturday, which is November 29th. Becky, I know you checked in with American Express. There's not any really promotional materials for that.
shop local, shop local.
Shop local,
I'll do a press release.
an ad in Harbor Light. So that'll be pretty much it for that. Well, I talked about on the sidewalk sales survey, I talked about that. And then trick or treating, it was determined that, you know, it was charming. It is cute to see the kids parading down the street. But the promotions committee is looking at how do you make it better? You know, because the parade comes down the street, all the kids get back on the bus. And the little kid leaves, they go back to school and the little kids are out there. So we're just going to look into that a little more, see if we can develop it in a future meeting to be a little more fun for the kids that are there. We don't see a lot of them at the end, but the littler kids are. And then wrap up of the summer season. So just again to state, I did speak to the retailers. Not all of them, and it wasn't because I didn't want to. It's because a lot of them were closed and, you know, were there open at 5 o'clock, et cetera, whatever the thing is. So one of the things I was asking them is traffic. Did you see an increase in traffic? Now, we're only looking at the season, the summer season. And the preponderance of them had good or great increases over last year. Which, I mean, if you're in town, you knew that there were people in town. It was absolutely amazing. There were 4 that said that they felt like their traffic was down compared to last year. Now, none of these businesses have trackers or anything. So I only know of one that clicks when people come into the store. And if traffic was okay, or, you know, I have nothing to compare it to. So the preponderance though said we had the traffic. Then it was about sales compared to last year. I do not ask them to disclose with your business. Do you feel like it was over last year or the same or decline? The preponderance of the businesses stated their sales were over 2024. They did have some struggles in some of the months. June seemed to be a painful month for a lot of them. Many recovered. July and August were so good, they recovered what they lost. And these are just some of the comments. July 4th was our best ever, and that was one of the retailers. There was one that, a local business that said, this was my best year, summer season year since I have been open. And one of the things that happened with 3 of our businesses is an influencer was in town over the summer, a woman and her boyfriend, and she was shopping Harbor Springs. She shopped 3 businesses, and I'll name them. Doug Bacon, Monogram Goods, and Huzzah. And Douglas, when I went to talk to him and he was sharing this, he was almost giddy. And if you know Douglas, he doesn't get giddy, you know, he just. But the influencer bought a ring from him. Very expensive ring from him. And went immediately, had it on, you know, did her thing on social media. And he said he was getting call after call after call. Douglas does not participate in social media, and he said, now I understand the value. And the same with Huzzah. She bought a sweater from Huzzah, was on her site. I'm not too sure what influencers do, what site they're on, etc. But I did watch her. And they sold out of that sweater. It is, you know, it's amazing to me too, that how much influence they have and their name, right? So that was.
Didn't Doug actually hire an influencer after that?
He hired, he hired, and I love that because that's not his thing, but it is now his thing. So that had a lot to do with the sales for them, which we love to hear.
The power of social media.
Power of social media. And some of them, you know, there are a few stores here that their comments were, and they were very open. I have to tell you, you know, it was when you're face to face with someone, it is easier to talk and to share and to listen on both sides. But they said, we just haven't found our niche yet. You know, we're still trying to find, we didn't have a successful sidewalk sale. We really didn't have any much out there. And we're kind of trying to be everything. And that's not working for it, that type of thing. No threats of them. They're just trying to rediscover or discover what their business should be. But lastly, I just want to talk about one thing. And this is looking at 2 of the airports, looking at Cherry Capital. And so they're, and I'm just going to read this because I won't be able to just do it all out of my head. But this is for Cherry Capital Airport. Their increase in traffic over 2024 was record breaking. 2024 was record breaking coming into Traverse City and the movement of passengers, and 2025 broke that record. And they said that the July 6th was their highest number of passengers that came into the airport. And that over the July 4th holiday weekend was record-breaking traffic for them, which is amazing. So, and they liken it to, people are discovering up north. There is the water, the hiking, all of those outdoor sports, and they're escaping the heat. How many times in your stores you ask them, oh, where are you from? You know, Dallas, gotta get out of the heat. Everyone's getting out of the heat. And then Pellston, they haven't posted anything yet on their passenger traffic, but they had, it was the first time that they added the second airline, and they added United, which is something big for Pellston, and they're doing some renos there, so that's a plus. And that's what I have from the committee.
Don't forget Santa.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget what?
Santa. I
Oh.
forgot Santa. Well, Santa's workshop. Okay, so we're very excited in the Trevor Furby building. There's Santa's workshop, and you cannot see in it yet. It's a surprise. It is done. Right? It is done.
Except for the throne, I got.
Except for the scene.
Except for the throne. The Jody and I get to be elves. And we will. Yeah. Yeah, so do I. So it's there will be a large rocking horse that is in there, right? There'll be Santa's chair, there's a Christmas tree in there, we'll have signage, I think you said that's ready. There'll be garland on the storefront, there'll be a letters to Santa mailbox. There'll be a Toys for Tots drop off there.
Gotta read that.
Yeah. There will be a listing as the Northman Den drop off. Elf costumes, promotion, Becky, you're handling that part, and then gifts for children. So Becky and Sarah are handling that. It should be, this is our first time. And we're excited. Santa's gonna be, what, 2 days there, and then he's gonna walk the 3 days total, okay.
Friday the 12th from 4 to 8, Saturday the 13th from 9 to 12, and Saturday the 20th from 9 to 12.
Excellent. So, I mean, we're looking for a huge response from that, and then we can build on it.
Can I make a suggestion, especially with social media? Trevor Bay, they have a really good following, especially on Instagram. And it would be great for Trevor or Amy, you know, you can kind of show the picture of what it is, let them do it, especially the night before, because majority of their folks down in Cincinnati, they're up here for the holiday. And so it'd be really great to cross work with
I
those
can
guys.
share our posts.
Yeah. And they definitely, I just want to make sure they're getting credit for
Oh, yeah.
doing what they're doing, you know, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, we're excited.
I would suggest too, some kind of printout and put it on the front of that window and maybe somewhere else on it so that people know that's the place.
Well, there's
And the
big
time.
banners going up as soon as I pick them up and put them in.
Oh,
There's
okay.
big banners in the front windows.
Okay, cool.
So I just have to,
And there will be,
tomorrow,
They're ready.
they're ready. I just have to pick them up and get them in. So they've, they're.
and will there be the dates, times?
The dates and times are on the big banners, and then we have a smaller flyer that I have that we can pass out to businesses as well, so it'll be more, and then
Promoted.
that can also be circulated on.
So who is the contact person that Trevor should reach out to to coordinate something? That would be you?
Social media person?
Yeah,
I can have someone reach out. I put a little star next to it.
okay, great. I'll just let him know.
Okay.
And if you send the flyers to me, I'll get this, put in a weekly notes.
I'll send an
And I'll
email.
pass
I'll get them around to people, and then if everyone can share them themselves on social media, you know, on your own personal social media too, and on your store, that would be helpful.
Allison, how many flyers would go? We haven't done that before. How many flyers?
It's just an email.
Oh, it's an email.
Yes,
So
the
you don't need
principal,
a physical flyer?
no, the
Just let
principals
flyers.
send them out every Friday.
Cool.
Okay, and go ahead and I think Becky probably has access, I don't know. Put it on our events calendar on the chamber website and then send us info so that we can include it in our weekly newsletters for you. Because it reaches a very big audience. Happy to help.
I don't
Right,
have
right.
access, but I send things, but I will do that.
Okay.
I can't. You don't want me to.
I
I can't even run this. People.
All right. Okay.
Any other
Somebody-
comments or questions? Excellent. Okay, that's promotion. Next is going to be Margaret and the enhancement committee report.
Okay, so we did already talk a little bit about the benches, and trash cans are gonna be painted, the ones that are green are gonna be painted this winter. We are still on hold about painting the clock at State and Main. Sidewalk repair, a lot of it has been completed and there's more to do. Lamp post. We're gonna revise our information about that. My thought is that in the spring, we're gonna do a survey on the colors of that blue, dark slate blue is there all winter to be looked at. But I did get, somebody gave me 3 samples of a charcoal color. So instead of a shiny black, that maybe we do, instead of, because we're trying to get rid of green is for the park and recs, and that's what we're trying to get rid of with all the trash cans and things that were green. We're trying to make everything, all the accent colors to be black. But just like these tabletops and the black underneath, this is kind of the color that we've suggested for the slate blue, but maybe we do black, slate blue, and then this charcoal, those three colors for the spring as a test and to do a survey. And we're talking about doing a GR or not a GR, a code that you go to the actual lamppost. So you're standing in front of it when you vote what you want.
And we'll be back at the December meeting with this all wrapped up. We discussed this, but we don't, it's nothing solid where we're going with this.
Unfortunately, we were given the news that it was too late in the year to paint the three colors, because of the amount of days it needed at a certain temperature for the partner to cure. So we kind of were unfortunately out of time.
Yes. The flower pots are gonna have the mums pulled out and some red twig dogwood and evergreens, I believe, put in the next few days, right?
Actually, I did get a date on that yesterday. The mums are coming out this week, and then Polly's will be here next week to replace with the other.
Yeah.
Thursday, I think they're coming out.
Okay. Yeah, the big snow kind of
Yeah.
ended the mums that look nice yet. Merchants Walkway, we're still trying to work through some of the things. We realized that some of the property that we were gonna plant on wasn't actually city property. Oh, it is city property, not private property. So we're still.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, just the opposite. Okay, it is private property, not city property. So we're not
Which is why we
obligated
didn't
to irrigate it or plant it. And then we did talk about closing off the steps for the winter with chain.
I'll just kind of follow up with that. Apparently that has been done in the city's mind the last few years because it was construction zone and it was yellow tape, you know, that kind of, I would like to see nice chain with a nice sign, and that might not happen. I mean, I have to make that happen. So it might not happen immediately, but can't have the stairs open. It's too big of a light.
Yeah.
But it won't look like it's under construction anymore.
Cleaning up the lamppost globes, that's gonna be scheduled for the spring, right? Unless they have time this fall, which I don't think that's gonna happen. We're still waiting on trying to cover up some of the utility boxes. There's still some AT&T boxes and Spectrum things that are broken, and I don't know. Maggie, did you ever talk to that one guy? No.
No, but I was waiting for, didn't we have a contact with?
I have a contact, but we're on the list is all, but I don't have any idea where we are. It's just like talking into a hole. If you know higher up,
Okay.
shake the tree.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over a year. I actually went up to the Spectrum people a couple of times that were working outside the gallery and said, I want you to walk down here. Now, there was a wire hanging above the ground between the utility pole and then some other kind of like AT&T box, and it was Spectrum's, and they still haven't fixed it. I mean, I can't even believe the city hasn't. I feel frustrated because I don't feel I have the power to say this has got to get fixed, but I think maybe that's the city council needs to address this.
And that's a great point. Does anybody in the city and DPW know what these lines are? I mean,
Well-
there's so many, and some of them are not even active, that I just would think that we could clean this up. You know?
The enhancement committee had it on, I had put it on my list of things to do, to have Lucas come to a fall meeting, if you recall, to make a report on all of this, because he does know all of that. And unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to come to a meeting this fall, but I guess to answer your question, I'm sure someone in the city does, but that's where that part of it was, is we were gonna address that this fall.
Okay, we did talk about taking, there's 3 cigarette urns sprinkled around town, taking them one at a time and painting them black, so they all at least are uniform with everything else. I just want to hit the idea of the tree grates, which we talked about over a year ago. And when we're trying to talk about the overall plan for downtown and not just Main Street, because it's a central business district. And having 2 people that live on, 3 people on Third Street, I want to make sure that this plan for our downtown includes Bay and Third as an overall feeling of it's all the central business district. So we're still working on plans for that, but we really haven't had enough time because of all the things with the lamp posts. And once again, we don't have our mayor here who is supposed to convey all this information to the city council. So I feel once again frustrated that we're here discussing things and there's no one relaying it to the city council. We did talk about display of goods. I think that was all settled, right?
Yes.
So we still have to review like the overall plan, but the tree grates, I am planning to go to get a hold of Tom Moran again, and I have 2 ideas that I want to work on for a design that would be unique for Harbor Springs and that kind of either deals with the water aspect or the Native American aspect of and without literally looking like Native American or water, but a wave shape or else a shape of like the feather of an arrow that could be a pattern on the
Concepts.
yeah,
That's good. Yeah. That's great, Mark.
I guess that's it for me.
So I have a clarification. So the last meeting we went to, the Hanson meeting, you guys showed me a color that was more brown for a choice for the lamppost that Gail, you sent me. Was that?
Oh, yeah, that was.
Or maybe,
one of those
maybe.
little-
So
That was
this-
the post.
Yeah.
It's not vertical. It's
Okay, so we're not doing that. We're gonna go with the charcoal.
It's that color.
that color, once again, let's,
Right, right.
Okay,
I
I just wanted to
whatever,
clarify, 'cause I was,
Yeah.
unless I was
It-
going
it is-
colorblind.
it is not a brown, it is, it's called Dragon's Breath. And it was one of the people that live on Main Street that suggested this versus this shiny urban black idea. So
But the shiny urban black is still there. I mean, you say shiny
We're
urban
not
black,
on.
but I hear more your old
Yeah.
European, so I mean.
Yeah, we're
it's-
not getting,
We
so
haven't-
in our next meeting,
Yeah,
we'll get into more of that,
okay,
the details of it. Right now, it's,
Making a
we're
recommendation.
trying
right?
to, yeah.
okay.
Anything else?
I just had one thing to add, and then we can just throw this in the back of on our list to talk about, or, there is a light outside of you guys, like in between you guys and Gurney's parking lot. It's one of our new lights that got put on and it just looks like it needs to be like the shade needs to be
Yeah.
tightened. It's like kind of smiling in the wind a little bit and it looks like it's, yeah, it's in between like where Gail's like driveway is between I guess Margaret's and the Gurney's lot, like that one light.
those style, because I have them on the front of the building, if the window, if it has to get cranked down tight, because otherwise water leaks down and burns the bulb out.
So yeah, it just needs to be
Okay.
twisted. I can't reach it, so.
We'll get a ladder.
I don't like ladders.
Okay. Any other comments? Public? No?
It's Becky's.
Oh, yeah, I know. I meant just for this discussion. Okay, Becky?
Okay, so it was a busy month. It flew by, I think. We did have a nice meeting with Allison for her board orientation. I did meet with John Michelangeli from Beckett and Rader. He is kind of the city planner that the city contracts with about the Main Street streetscape tree grate project for next year. I told you that in the budget. Worked on the budget, met with the committees. The moms are coming out. I knew I had that written down somehow. Moms are coming out Thursday. And then talked with Rachel yesterday. Kim yesterday, or actually exchanged emails, and she can put the winter plantings in next week. The DPW will be taking some of the flower pots off the sidewalk, the ones that they think will interfere with snow removal will come off for the winter time. They were drained, because that's how, if you let them freeze, so they have been drained, but we're ready to go with those. Santa's workshop is coming up, you have the dates there. Oh, the sidewalk snow removal is coming soon. The truck was not ready to do it this week, but I don't know why the sidewalks look so good on Monday morning.
They melted fast.
They did. They really, I thought the Nate had been out when I came in for the S-Fest meeting, but Christmas tree is going up on Thursday. I did attend the MDA conference in Rochester, Michigan, last, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I thought I would give you this is an annual conference, and there's a lot of material there. And I will let the board know when it's all posted online. You can watch all of these yourself if you would like to, but we had sessions and I attended almost all of these, but some of them were concurrent. First, we had roundtables on liquor control in downtowns, working with council to approve budgets, and credit unions, which are the underused resource as far as funding for your board. We had a keynote presentation from the Nordin, but they call themselves Nordine. I don't understand that, but anyway, they spell it without the brothers. Highly, 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 highly inspiring. I knew it would be, and I'm the conference committee chair, so I put a lot of this together, but I hope that everybody takes the time to look at that one. It's a great resource. Well, there's a session on updating the TIP plan. Michigan, Buy Nearby, who is that? It's the guy with the blue Michigan mint that comes out. Oh my God. Small business, no.
Association,
Who?
Michigan Retailers Association.
Michigan Region, yes, thank you very much. And one of our sponsors, that was, I don't tell anybody. Anyway, they gave a great presentation on that. We had one on AI and downtown management, destination marketing, zoning for small business success. That was interesting. There was a woman who presented a guidebook to public involvement on community projects. She is from Fowlerville and Howell area, and the feedback that she went through on putting a data center there, and also a solar farm, a commercial solar farm. These are huge projects, and that inspired her to write this guidebook that supposedly would be relative to any kind of place that you needed public comment. We also had a session on sealing the deal, guide to DDA staff contracts, data-driven downtowns, a session storytelling, marketing your downtown with purpose and power. We had a legislative overview because we do employ or contract with people that watch what's going on in Lansing, and there's a word for that that's escaping me right now, but and tell us what DDA legislation might affect us and how we might want to react to it, and if there's anything coming along the pike that would harm DDAs, and something that this organization would have to, I guess, argue against. Then we had a walking tour on the first night of Pontiac, and they have a new mayor there that was elected, who was the DDA director in Berkeley. Charming, talented young man, and he was going to make such a difference in that town. Pontiac is a big deal to all of Michigan. I know you don't see that so much in northern Michigan, but to have that town become revitalized, it looks like it might be a real possibility. And then the next night, we got a walking tour of Rochester, and their DDA director has been there. She's been there 20 years, but she left for 2 years, and then she came back. And you may have heard of the big bright light show that she's won awards. Parade Magazine did all of this. I mean, it's been
Super cool.
yeah. She actually gave a marketing presentation. It's like in her blood. She's entertaining and sarcastic, but she loves this big bright light show. So we were walking around town. It's not lit yet. It's all installed, but we're walking on the tour. And she said, "Okay, I've got to run up to my office or something." And she went upstairs and she pressed the button. just for us. It was really moving. I have never seen that even coming from downstate. I never went to it because I don't like big crowds, you know, but I was aware of it and it was wonderful to see it. It's a private showing. There were people on the street at that time of night, and they're all going, oh my God, this is really, really cool. So it was a great, great conference. I was really inspired to be there. So brought back a lot of things.
So you touched upon the data centers. That seems to be
Mhm.
there, at least 4 of them are going up downstate.
Mhm.
Did they talk about manufacturing? Because that's actually an economic growth that could be taking
Yes,
place
yeah.
that, we'll benefit from down the road.
It's
And-
push and pull, but
Yeah.
these communities weren't prepared, especially for the solar farm. They weren't prepared for that. The people came in and sold. They said to the farmers, we're gonna use your land, and they sold these contracts to them, but it wasn't in the zoning code because they weren't ready for it. So this was a former planning commission chair who just was, I mean, I'll be a little familiar, I don't know. I'll take this to a global level. Felt like a little persecuted over the lamppost, but this was over, she was nearly tarred and feathered and hung. I mean, these are projects that you really have to be prepared for. So it was an interesting presentation. I don't foresee our DDA getting involved in anything at that level, but you learn a lot of things about municipalities and community legislation at these conferences. So it was very interesting, and you can translate it down.
But you can you have the ability to watch these meetings?
Yes, but not yet. I have to send you the link. They're not posted yet, and I will send it to the full board, so anybody can want to look at anything.
Yeah, I'd be interested to watch them.
Yeah, it's that, I hope that everybody would. We work hard to put these conferences together, and the more people that see them, the better. So, as we said before, ladies' night, the night out is coming up. The tree lighting is the 29th. The open house is December 6th. Thank you so much to the chamber for doing all these things. Makes life a lot easier for the DDA, so we really, really appreciate that. Oops, I guess I attended the NBA conference twice. Was that fun?
Any comments from the board members? Public, anything? No? Well, it is 9:13. We will adjourn the November 12th DDA meeting. Thanks for coming. We appreciate that.